Hi, my name is Remy Salazar, and I am externing at La Bernadette, which is a 3-star Michelin restaurant here in Manhattan. It is a restaurant that specializes in fish being the highlight of their menu, and that is also their mission, is to highlight the fish and all the seafood. And consistency is a big thing at the restaurant as well. They achieve this mission by getting fresh fish delivered almost every day or every other day by Blue Ribbon Fish Market here in New York City as well, and they have a very strong relationship with them. Just recently, the fish provider of Blue Ribbon Fish Market came into the restaurant to speak with Chef Eric Repair. The way that our site creates and markets a product is, my best example would be a recent product that we just created. We first launched it on our canapé menu, and we tested out there. We kept it on canapes, which kind of changes every day, but we kept it on our canapes because we wanted to see how people would react to it, and it was a good reaction. Then we slowly launched it as a special to our main menu, and we kind of teased it a little bit on our Instagram page and get people excited about that. So that's how they market a lot of their new products, is on Instagram. You'll see it sometimes with their pastry chef Orlando Giotto, who oftentimes will kind of tease new desserts that he's about to put on the menu, and he'll do it via Instagram. Our site, so currently I'm working in the canapé section of the restaurant, and at the canapé section, they kind of create new canapés every day. It's never really the same canapé. So it's a brand new canapé every day. It's a trio canapé. So that comes with a soup and 2 raw fishes or shellfish. So depends on what we have in the restaurant that day or what we want to kind of like get rid of but still continue to use. We'll do some scallops, or we would do shrimp or fish or whatever we have at the moment. We actually, as I mentioned earlier, a dish that we created on the canapé station that then got put onto the main menu was really interesting to see being made. It was a couple components. It was our salsify, which is like it's a root vegetable almost similar to yuca or taro. We smoked that. So we peeled it and boiled it, and then from there we made it into a puree, and we did that by blending it, adding cream and butter into it to emulsify it. And then from there we put it in a hotel pan and then put it into it was put into a half hotel pan, then put into a perforated pan, which we then smoked some hickory wood chips to give it a bit of a smoky flavor. From there we paired that with our octopus that we boiled in onions, thyme, and it was chicken broth actually that we boiled it in. And then from there we seared it on the flat top with just your basic olive oil. And then we cut it into a couple pieces, and we sprinkled some Parmesan cheese on top of it with some red bell pepper oil that we made. And that is how we created a dish, and it was a big hit. From there I was able to see how it went through a couple changes obviously, and then it got put onto the main menu. But it was something that just was octopus that we needed to get rid of and then created into a staple menu item. So that was really cool to see. So throughout my observation, I was able to see how they maintain a level of consistency, and in a restaurant to its caliber, you obviously need to have a big level of consistency, and they have many checkpoints. I was explained to by my sous chef, Sarah, who had mentioned to me that it is first goes through our fish provider, so hopefully they pick out the best fish for us, and then from there it goes to her butcher, who will then fillet it and make sure that the fish is at the quality it needs to be. Then from there it goes to our cooks, being us, and if we see that there's an issue with the fish, if it feels funky or smells a little funky, then we will obviously not use it. But then from there, if it's still good quality, we will still continue to use it. And from there it goes to our chefs, who then double check our work. And then from there it would go to our food runners, who, if they see a problem, they would catch it. And if it somehow gets through all those checkpoints and makes it onto the dining room, it first gets looked at before even touching a customer. It gets looked at by the captain, who would be the front server in this scenario, and he or she would look at the thing and make the last final check before it gets to the customer. And hopefully nothing goes wrong, but there's many checkpoints before it reaches a customer. My overall experience at my externship location has been incredible. I've been able to learn so much from all the chefs who are really wanting to share the knowledge that they have with us, and they will walk me through any questions I have, walk me through the process of making something. As for my opinion on things, like I had mentioned, I am on the canapé station, so our canapés change every day. It's something that we have to create every single day. So they'll ask me like some advice, or if I have any like recommendations or ideas, I can tell them, and they won't shoot it down, and we'll work together, and we'll actually be able to put something out in front of the customer that I had something to do with. So that's really cool. My knowledge has expanded a lot. I've been able to talk to their saucier, talk to my chefs, to the other cooks who have also come from different restaurants and have been able to share their knowledge with me, which has been incredible. And I will say that a lot of the revenue, I was told, does come from our private parties. That is because our private parties, there's a minimum to meet, and we're able to kind of write where that minimum is. So we actually have at least 3 to 2 parties every week, and this is considered their slow season. So throughout the busier season, which would be the holiday season, there's a party every single day. So they explained it to me as being that they're able to sometimes mark up certain items that aren't marked up on the main menu, which is actually really interesting to see. And they also have to reach, like I mentioned, a certain minimum. So sometimes we'll have parties of just 4 people, private parties of 4 people who wanted to rent out the dining room. We have 3 dining rooms, so they wanted to rent out one part of the dining room. So they would do like a canapé hour, which they would do that because they have to reach the certain minimum to be able to get the dining room. Another big profit is through their wine program. They have like at least 3 sommeliers on the floor at all times. So if you're not really sure about which wine or what kind of drink to drink with your food, we have the sommeliers, and so there's always someone guiding them through that, which in turn makes big profits in sales with our drink and our wines menu. And our tasting menu is another big part of our profitability. So far, I feel like I have learned so much from this experience, and I'm incredibly grateful.